The lights dimmed across the central broadcast chamber aboard the G.U.P. Eternity, and silence followed like breath drawn and held. 1,000 systems tuned in, billions of screens flickered, holotables in frontier stations recalibrated. Palace lounges and corporate towers paused their music. Even outposts in the Oort cloud received the signal. The golden seal of the Galactic Union of Planets pulsed once, then dissolved into the figure of a woman. President Elaine Connors stood alone. No flags, no soldiers, no background projections of ships or glory, just a black field behind her, deep, infinite, unblinking. A space without context, a void into which she would speak her truth. She looked directly into the lens. Her expression was calm, composed. Not stern, not grandiose, simply certain.
"Citizens of the Union,"
she began, voice warm with the practiced cadence of sincerity.
"Today I come to you not in triumph, but in resolve."
She paused as if to absorb the weight of her own words.
Many of you have heard the rumors. You've seen the images: burning cities, grounded fleets, Virellian transmissions abruptly ceased. I will not lie to you. The Union has acted decisively. We have taken control of the Virellian core systems. Their planetary governors have been deposed, their military disarmed.
Another pause, slight incline of her head.
This was not an act of conquest. It was an act of necessity.
She let those words settle, like sediment in a riverbed.
For over 2 years, classified intelligence has confirmed what some of us feared. The Virellian High Council was knowingly harboring terrorist elements. Factions devoted not only to sabotaging G.U.P. infrastructure, but to destabilizing the very peace that binds our galactic community.
She pressed her palms gently together.
They refused diplomatic overtures. They refused transparency. They lied, repeatedly. And when we uncovered the first vault of forbidden technology hidden beneath their capital, they chose defiance over cooperation.
Her eyes narrowed just slightly, almost imperceptibly.
They forced our hand.
At that precise moment, footage cut in. Virellian cruisers firing first in a staged simulation. Explosions framed against orbital platforms. Anonymous faces of G.U.P. workers injured, pixelated for effect. A child held in a responder's arms, all manufactured, all carefully placed. Connor's voice overlaid the images.
Their intent was clear: to regain supremacy, to shatter the equilibrium we've worked so hard to build.
The images faded. She returned, alone in that vast black field.
But we are not a species that allows fear to dictate our future.
She stepped forward.
And make no mistake, this is our future, not theirs, not the failed civilizations that refuse to evolve. The Union is the axis around which the next age of humanity turns.
A swell of subtle music, strings, restrained, noble.
I know there are voices who call this occupation a betrayal, who claim we overreached, that we silenced an ancient people. But ask yourselves this: did they speak when we extended hands of unity? Did they offer peace when we opened our gates to knowledge sharing? Or did they close their temples, encrypt their vaults, and whisper only to themselves?
Her voice lowered, intimate now.
This galaxy cannot thrive with secrets buried in ancient stone. Not when we have children growing up beneath failing domes on Callisto. Not when refugees flee collapsed habitats near Proxima. Not when there is so much left to build.
She let the silence ride the moment.
I will not apologize for securing the future.
And then she smiled, gently, a teacher's smile, patient, gracious.
We welcome those Virellians who wish to join us in peace. They will be given full access to relocation and Union citizenship. Their knowledge will help all of us. Their beauty, their art, their understanding of biology and the lattice. It will not be lost. It will flourish.
That word echoed with precisely timed acoustic reverb. The feed remained steady. Her tone did not shift.
To those who resist, we offer mercy. Lay down your arms. Your leaders are gone. Your fleet's shattered, but we do not wish to erase you. The future has room for many voices, just not the ones that shout only of war.
And then she delivered the final line, measured, memorized.
This is not conquest. This is stewardship.
The screen faded to black, then silence. Across the inner systems, Earth, Mars, Luna, Titan, the broadcast ran on endless loop for the next 6 hours. Strategic overlay stations rebroadcast the feed into local languages, regional dialects, and culturally appropriate summaries. Influencers praised her poise, senators avoided comment. A few progressive blocs drafted weak resolutions. None passed. But the truth? No one really cared. The core worlds were flush with prosperity. Grav trains ran ahead of schedule. Food credit ceilings had doubled this quarter. Art colonies floated above Europa, selling atmospheric impressions for absurd sums. On Mercury, new casinos were being carved into the cooled side of the Terminator range. Solar-laced bodysuits, mood-sensing architecture, deep-focus neurodrugs, all trending. In the outer belts, the story barely registered. People had more pressing concerns: fuel shortages, terraforming delays, freight taxes. A war on another world between two species most of them had never met was background noise. By the next rotation, the most viral clip was not her speech. It was a slowed-down loop of her raising an eyebrow before the line, "This is not conquest," memed with a dozen captions. "When you eat the last rations and say it was strategy." Me claiming I wasn't flirting. Stewardship.exe has entered the chat. Connors had known it would be this way. She had counted on it. She didn't need adoration. She didn't even need agreement. What she needed, what she received, was silence. No protests on Luna, no industry slowdowns, no union blockades, no Senate vote, just a quiet pivot of attention back toward expansion dividends and supply futures. The illusion of order had been maintained. Silence was not absence. Silence was consent. Back aboard the Eternity, Connors stood once more in her private observation deck. Beyond the glass, a captured Virellian dreadnought drifted in dry dock. Its curved hull cracked open for reverse engineering. Plasma welders moved along its spine like insects dissecting a god. She sipped from a glass of mineral distilled wine and watched the stars. General Gregorov entered behind her but said nothing. She turned slightly, offering a smile that didn't reach her eyes.
"They didn't resist,"
she said.
"No,"
he agreed.
"they didn't."
She raised the glass in salute, not to him, not to the war, to herself, to her legacy, and to the fact that, in the end, she hadn't needed guns or parades to win. Just the patience to let apathy do her work for her.